Hello and welcome to this episode of EideCast. Is this thing on? I'm Elliot DeWitt and I'm here with Lani Bunkers. Now you can do your little wave.
Oh,
there's a good wave. Leasing consultant at Vern Eide Leasing. Lani, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Let's learn more about you. What do you do? What does a leasing consultant do?
So in our department, we mostly focus on collections and keeping customers current with their accounts. I also post payments and kind of help Larissa go through new leases, making sure that there's stuff in there that's required. But mostly keeping in touch with customers to make sure that they are aware of their account statements and balance and whatnot.
So do we have like our own leasing thing that we do then?
Yes.
Okay, so generally when people lease a car, sometimes it's through maybe the corporation. So like if that's Honda, like Honda Motor Company's bank, something, whatever.
Right.
So we have like our own bank essentially?
So yes, Vern Eide Leasing is its own leasing company.
Okay.
So there are separate banks that we do borrow from, but ideally we are our own. Like First Premier is with First Premier Bank.
Right.
Vern Eide Leasing is its own,
Okay.
but we have multiple banks that we borrow from.
Okay. And so then it's just a different way for customers to buy. Is it mainly new cars?
Yes, most of the time it's newer cars. It just mainly depends on your mileage and whatnot. There's some vehicles that qualify and don't qualify for leasing, but mostly new.
And so then they would just lease it through us instead of leasing it through a different, bigger bank or whatever.
They have a few options, but most of the time there's actually a lot of Vern Eide leases. We do have a lot of volume that has come in. So,
okay.
Last year was a record-breaking year.
Oh, really?
I do believe. I can't remember the exact numbers,
Well,
but
we
did
the
get a
number,
lot.
Otherwise this won't
I'm
work
sorry.
out. So we're just going to start over. So no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even really know we had. So how many are in your department?
So we have. I say that Larissa doesn't count because she doesn't do all of the leasing, but she's kind of more of the background.
Okay.
So there's Larissa. She is our leasing manager. She does a lot of other stuff. I mean, she's a jack of all trades.
Yep.
And then we have Eric Nelson. He has been with Vern Eide for 10 years, I do believe, in leasing, so he's our senior consultant.
Yep.
I have been over there for about 2 years now. We have Jen, who has been with us, I believe, for about 9 or more months.
Okay.
So she is actually our insurance coordinator, would be the best title for her. And then we have a new person, Mr. Joe. Joe is a part-timer with us, so he works Monday through Wednesday.
Okay.
And he really helps Eric and I mostly with the collection side of things.
It's like collecting payments that are due, and I'm sure most of them are probably set up on like an auto pay or not.
Majority, especially like newer ones that come in, or they'll have plans with us on what we're going to do to get them current.
Okay.
So.
That's cool. So it's probably about 5 of you, Eric?
5, counting Larissa too.
There we go.
Yep.
We'll count her, just so I can say 5.
Yep.
So you started there a couple years ago, you said?
I did in leasing. Okay. Well, about 2 years
2
now.
years ago. So how long have you been at Vern Eide?
So 3 going on 4.
What were you doing before leasing?
So I was actually in service.
Okay.
I was a BDC coordinator, so I was working with Derek and Mariella, scheduling service appointments.
Okay. So then were you approached to come to leasing, or is that just, how did that come about?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So I was actually offered a few times to be a service advisor over at Honda, and I kind of decided that wasn't for me. I was very thankful for it, but I really wanted to get to Acura because Dave Hendrickson is my best friend.
Okay.
He wanted me to mention his name, so there it is.
There it is. And it's been dropped.
But yes, I really wanted to go over there because I just really liked working with them. I like everyone, but I was leaning towards going towards them.
Sure.
So Derek had mentioned I helped him with a lot in service, and he wanted to pull me over to Mitsubishi with him to continue to help him, but also to kind of push me towards Acura.
Sure.
With him working right next to Larissa and Jim walking through upstairs all the time, my name had been mentioned from Derek a few times. So I got over there, but it was actually my day off when I was still in service. I get a phone call from Mariella and said, "Hey, you're starting in leasing tomorrow." And I was like, "Oh, I guess I'll come get my stuff then." So then I just came over into leasing, was doing a little bit of service, but mostly leasing, and they fully transitioned me into leasing after I decided that I really liked it. So Larissa and Jim stole me.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. What's your favorite part of your job?
I have to say I have a couple things. I really like working with our sales department or finance sales managers. I like communicating with them because it goes a little bit beyond our leasing group. So it's nice to have further communication with other departments to help us with what we're needing to obtain from customers. Otherwise, I love customer service. Not a lot of people can say that, but I love it, and I really do love talking to our customers, and I like to be gracious to try to help them in the best way that we can. So,
that's cool. Like, sometimes you probably have to make some tough calls.
A lot of the time.
Yeah,
Eric and I kind of good cop, bad cop each other all the time, so there are some difficult ones.
Yeah, because maybe they haven't made their payment, and I'm sure there's always there's a reason for it in a lot of cases, I'm sure. Where did you grow up?
So I grew up in Del Rapids, but I would also like to say I kind of grew up in Illinois, in little Monroe Center. That's where my dad lived, so I would go there very often to see him and my grandparents, but back and forth between him and my mom.
Was that mainly in the summer? Or
mostly summer, or like Christmas breaks and whatnot. So.
That's cool. So Del Rapids, and that's in Illinois. Is that... You went to high school there as well?
Yes. Yep. I did all of my school through Del Rapids.
Okay.
So, yep.
And then what did you do after school? Where did you go after that?
So I had been working since I was able to.
Yeah.
I actually was working with Maurice's, a clothing company.
Okay.
I had been with them for 5 years and transferred to Nashville, Tennessee. I lived there for a little bit.
Okay.
And then... After that, it got to the point where I was kind of back and forth between South Dakota and Tennessee. But mostly I was with the same job with Maurice's for a long time. So just transferring back and forth.
How did you get here then? Did I ask that already?
So my mom actually worked at Acura. And it was funny because I just had a Facebook memory pop up just a few days ago saying, hey, my daughter's in town for about a month. She's looking for work because my now fiance and I came back from COVID because in Nashville it was really bad. They were closing everything down and he works remotely. So we're like, oh, we'll just go see everybody. So we came back here and decided we were going to move back. She had posted that, and I believe how it went, she was friends with Derek because she had met him through work. He was like, hey, I'd like to interview your daughter. You know, my mom talked me up to him.
Nice.
So,
that's a good mom.
Yeah, so I interviewed with Derek because my mom kind of threw my name out there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So you've been back here for, what is that, probably 4 years, 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, just about 4.
Okay. You're engaged.
I am.
Whoa, there it is. Show it off. Might as well. When did that happen?
So that was October of this last year. So
Very
just
cool.
recently.
Yeah.
But I always poked at him like, hey, I could be your wife.
Yeah.
You know. But I was like, take your time, for real.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Not going to push you. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. So that was in October.
Yep.
So do you have a wedding date set yet or not?
I want a fall wedding, and I don't have anything set in place yet, but October 18th of
Feels
25 is just sticking in my brain. That's the only date. I looked at the weekends, and I'm like, oh, that's the one.
That feels like a good one. 10, 18, 25.
I'll plan it in like a month or something. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
25, though, so you got
25.
a year.
Yep.
You got a year and a few months.
I can't do it this year. That'd be too much.
It's crazy. Yeah. What do you have for family? I mean, I know you're engaged, so then that'll be part of your family. What else do you...
So John is my fiance.
Okay, great.
And then my mom, Jamie, Addison, and Harrison are my brother and sister.
Okay, cool.
Siblings.
Yep.
They live here in South Dakota.
Yep.
And then I have my dad and stepmom who live in Colorado. They recently moved there. They just kind of wanted to get new scenery.
Sure.
And my stepmom's 2 kids, Devin and Chloe. So
Cool.
I am the oldest out of all 4, or 5 of us, counting me. But yeah,
so
that's my whole family.
I mean, so I guess that makes the oldest. How's it been being the oldest?
Crazy.
Yeah?
Yeah, I grew up really fast. We
Yeah.
had a lot of stuff happen in our life. So I grew up really, really fast, but I wouldn't change it. It's just kind of shaped me into who I am, gave me a lot of experiences that I didn't know I was going to need.
Yeah.
So I grew up really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you say what is your why? Like, what kind of drives you?
I would have to say John, my fiance. He is the sweetest human. So I like to do my best for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I do pick at him and poke at him, but
Gotta.
he is the most genuine person I have met. So I would have to say he's my
How did you meet him?
I met him at a party. My friend Haley, she works in the BDC.
Sure.
I've known her since we were 6. We're best friends. Gotta state that.
There you go.
She was like, "Hey, let's go to this party. Let's go hang out." And I got out of the house with her, went to this party, and I met him, and I was like, "Oh, hey, that guy's really cute." Then we started talking and never stopped talking.
Never stopped.
No, so.
Was it set up at all?
Not really.
No. So like Haley didn't hey, he's gonna
Well,
be
she was
there.
like, "Hey, there's this guy here that I feel like you get along with him really well," but it wasn't like you should go date this guy. It wasn't like that. It was like, let's get you out of the house. Come on, stop being a bum on the couch. That's pretty much what it was.
How long ago was that?
That was actually October of 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when you moved to Tennessee,
Yep.
like when was that? Like that was pretty quickly after?
So I had come back. I kind of was back and forth, as I had said. I come back from Tennessee just a couple months before October of 2019.
Yeah.
I met John.
Yeah.
He was moving to Nashville,
What?
Tennessee, because of his work. He works with Cummins,
Yeah.
and he got a big promotion. So he was moving there. Well, it was funny and crazy because I still have my license plates from Tennessee on my car. And he's like, "No way."
Yeah, that's nuts.
Like the guy in those videos, "No way."
That's crazy.
And so I actually decided to call my stepmom, and I was like, "Hey, Nikki, do I seem stupid like if I move across the country, for a guy I've known for 2 months?" And she's like, "You're young. Mess up now, and if it doesn't work, then it didn't work, rather than having what ifs."
Yeah.
So I followed through with that, and I moved there, and we were roommates.
Sure.
But I only knew him for 2 months, and I went there, and we've been together ever since.
That's crazy,
So.
and now you're engaged. So
Yeah.
you'll be married to him.
Yeah.
So it's probably a pretty good decision in the long run.
It was.
Yeah.
Very
It's
much so.
risky, but
It was.
Sometimes-
I was very nervous
Yeah.
about it, but it felt right.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't ruin it. I don't know. What's something that people may not know about you?
Well, I was gonna say that I lived in
man,
Tennessee.
sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Oh my goodness. Well, I think I kind of said everything. We're not gonna get into it. My family was asked to be on Dr. Phil.
On Dr. Phil?
Yep.
Okay, like the show.
Yeah.
Bald mustache, Dr.
Yeah.
Phil.
Yeah. His secretary, I believe that's what you would call her, reached out to my family and was like, "Hey, you want to come to the show?" And I was like, no.
No,
Yeah.
we're good.
Yeah, we won't get into
We don't
that,
need to
but-
we don't need to make that public, especially on Dr. Phil.
Yeah, he'd probably be like, "Oh, come on, she can do this podcast with Vern
why
Eide,"
can't-
but like,
Yeah, I'm sure.
Sorry,
Dr.
man.
Phil is a big fan of ours. He's always commenting on
yeah.
our videos.
oh yeah.
For
Well, you
sure.
never know.
I don't know, actually.
You
I
never
don't
know. I'm from small town, Del Rapids, South
Sure.
Dakota, and
Maybe he is watching.
exactly.
It's possible.
You never know.
It's probably unlikely, though.
Yeah.
What do you enjoy doing in your free time?
I am a sucker for reading and
Okay.
writing. I can't tell you a specific author because I just read a bunch of random books.
Yeah.
Don't bring me to Target or Barnes & Noble
just
or
buy 'em
anything
all.
because I'm like, oh, I need this book
You
that I
gotta
don't
have it.
need. Yeah, so I do like reading and riding my motorcycle in my free time
Okay.
with my fiance or going for rides with him. So that's
Yeah.
another thing we like
What
to
kind
do
of,
too.
is there a genre of book you like? Are you just anything? Like, are you into mystery novels? Are
More
you into-
mystery.
Yeah?
Yeah, crime stuff.
Yeah?
Stuff that
Always
makes you
been that way?
jump. Yeah.
Jump from a book?
Yeah,
That's tough. to
kind
do.
of.
Yeah, I get
Just
that.
like
Do you envision it
shocking.
when you're reading it then?
kind of.
Does most people do that? I don't
yeah,
even know.
it depends on like the part I'm on, but my majority of the time, yes.
So you like see it as
Yeah.
a movie in your head a little bit.
Yeah.
I get that. I'm trying to think if I do that.
Yeah.
Does everyone do that? Is that just what reading is?
No, I think everyone would do that.
Is that just what reading is? Yeah. Is just you read it and then you
I mean, are you really just going to sit there and read words on
and
a paper and not have any imagination?
Book, right? Yeah, I guess with a mystery or like something like crime, you envision it. But if it's something like self-help, I guess I don't know.
Maybe that's...
Maybe you envision yourself doing it.
Yeah.
So we just have to... Do we have to solve what reading is?
I think so.
Is that what this is?
I don't think we just read.
Everyone's the same, do you think?
No.
No, but does everyone read the same? Like when you
Maybe.
read a page...
I feel like you can't just sit there and read words on a paper.
Right, so you have to envision it in your head.
I mean, think of reading a newspaper. What if you read about a squirrel running up a tree or something?
Okay.
You're gonna
think of the squirrel.
A squirrel running up a tree.
And the more specific, the better. So if they tell you, like, it's a black squirrel, then you're like, whoa, that's a unique squirrel.
It's going to click.
It's going to just click in there. That's interesting. Why do I not know what reading is?
I don't know. Now I'm kind of...
Am I wrong?
Struck a little bit. No.
No, it's what it is, right?
No.
Okay.
It's one of those things that don't make sense. Like, how does a calculator do math? How does it know?
Oof.
Yeah, I don't like those questions. They freak me out.
This is a little deep. So you wouldn't want to read a book about, like, a killer calculator.
Yeah, probably not.
Some sort of AI.
Terrifying.
There's probably going to be a bunch of AI mystery novels. Or they probably, I don't know. Anyway, sorry. A little tangent there. Got off track a little bit. So would you say then, are you I want to say, are you into books, music, or movies? If you had to pick one of the three, is it books?
No.
No.
Actually, so I do like reading.
You do like reading.
But I really do like movies.
Okay.
I just have to throw out there Mark Wahlberg is my future ex-husband.
Okay.
Sorry, John. He knows.
Ooh, he does know. So it's not like a secret for him.
Yeah.
That'd be a tough way to find out.
Yeah.
Because I was in your little bit of your cubicle. You showed me.
I showed you my Mark Wahlberg from Miss Linda.
Wahlberg.
She gave them to me on our Secret Santa present, and I hung them.
Oh, yeah, from Linda. Yeah.
Linda Black up in title.
She just gave you a bunch of Mark Wahlberg pictures.
Yeah.
I noticed he wasn't wearing a shirt in a lot of them.
So the reason being, we were supposed to write on our Secret Santa slip, what do you like to do in your free time? Well, obviously I put stare at shirtless pictures of Mark Wahlberg.
There you go.
So she wrapped the last present in shirtless pictures of Mark Wahlberg.
That's
and I'm like,
smart.
I got to hang these up in here.
Well done.
He's beautiful.
That is really well done. That's smart.
No, I am a movie girl.
Okay, movies. So what are your top 3 favorite movies of all time?
We're going to go from 3 to 1.
Okay, we can do that. We can build that suspense.
Not a lot of people know this movie, I feel like, but Detroit Rock City. It's about high school boys, 4 of them, that have their own little band, go to Detroit, Michigan to go see a Kiss concert.
Right.
And I just love it. It came out in like 1999 or something. So
is it a comedy or is it?
Yeah, I would say so.
So they went to a Kiss concert that wasn't like a story about the band Kiss because they got that song Detroit Rock City. I'm sure is probably in the movie. I would assume.
Yeah.
So then they end up getting there to watch them perform.
Yes.
Okay, so it's that journey.
It's really good and it's kind of inappropriate. But it's fantastic. I've always loved it. I could probably quote everything from that movie.
Okay, and that's 3.
Yeah, that's number 3.
So the number 2 is even more maybe quotable.
So number 2, I'm gonna have to say. So I love Mark Wahlberg, and I said that he's gonna be my future husband.
You said that.
But just movie wise, I do really like Melissa McCarthy. So I'd have to say The Heat because I will laugh at that movie every single time I watch it.
Well, I haven't seen Heat.
The Heat?
No, I've seen Heat. I haven't seen The Heat. You're right.
With Melissa McCarthy and Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, I know it is. She's
officers and FBI. And
is Wahlberg in that?
No.
Okay.
He's not. He's not in my. He's not in my movie list.
That's all right. I've seen a lot of his movies.
But I do love every single one if he's in it.
Okay.
So it's okay.
But it's not a top 3 one. I get that.
It's not.
That makes sense.
I mean, I do like Fear by him, but it can't rank as number 1.
No. Well, I don't know that, but now I do. You kind of gave that away. You kind of gave that one to me.
Yeah.
So The Heat. I keep thinking Heat. Heat's a different movie. It's definitely a different movie. It's De Niro, I think.
Can you please just watch it?
The Heat.
The Heat with Melissa McCarthy.
Is it? I'm assuming it's comedy because it's Melissa.
It is
McCarthy.
comedy. It is fantastic.
She's like a FBI.
No, so Sandra Bullock is FBI, and then she is just like a local police officer.
And then they have to work together.
Yes.
And comedy ensues.
Yes.
Makes sense.
It's just really funny.
That's all you need for a premise with Melissa McCarthy. Is just like, make it work. I'm sure she probably came up with most of it on the spot. Okay, number 1. now I'm like, what could this be?
Step Brothers.
Step Brothers.
Do you want to do karate in the garage?
Do we just become best friends?
Velociraptor.
It's awesome. That is a good
That's my number one.
Have you always been into, like, is it all Will Ferrell, or is it, is that just the best one?
All Will Ferrell.
All Will
I mean,
Ferrell.
he's pretty good.
Yeah. There's
He's
just
really
some
good.
that, yeah.
Some are
John C.
better than
Reilly,
others,
yeah.
but Step Brothers just gotta
The
be number one.
Really quotable. Probably
I could
know all that one,
watch
too.
it every single day for the rest of my life.
You
No,
won't
I'm
watch
kidding.
it.
That would be way too
That'd
much.
be a lot.
But
You get sick of it.
I could watch it
How
like
often do you think you'd watch it in a year, would you say?
probably once a month.
Really?
Honestly, I want to say yes.
Yeah.
Once a month.
Is it just you, or does John watch it with you?
Me, Haley, John, Haley's husband, Brian.
Yeah.
You know, we're all like best pals.
Let's
So.
just put it on. Mm-hmm. And it's just going to be rocking.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a good movie. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's any other questions that I need to ask. Is there anything I didn't ask that you want to talk about?
I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, is there anything that we didn't talk about that you want to share at all? That I could ask you?
I would like to share that I really want to move back to Nashville, Tennessee, but Vern Eide keeps me here.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not kidding.
No.
I really do love this company. I'm not saying that because I'm on a podcast.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
saying it because everyone here is very genuine and welcoming and encouraging. So I really like that I got this opportunity to just kind of say thank you to everyone for being so kind to each other because it does make it worthwhile being
That's
here.
awesome.
So
What do you like about Nashville when you were down there?
the scenery.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like-
Not even specifically in Nashville. It could be around it.
Yeah.
It could be, I mean, I could walk downtown Broadway all the time, whenever. You know, that's Broadway Street. But it's just the mountains and the scenery.
Yeah.
Just a lot of memories there.
Are you into
so,
country music?
Yeah.
So, like, that scene, obviously, like, even just walking past the bars is, like, a
Yeah.
bunch of people who are really, really talented who haven't been
Yes.
signed yet, but
Yeah.
so good.
It's crazy because they always have bands and everything
Yeah,
happening in
constantly.
there. So, yeah.
That's cool.
And it was nuts. One time I was at Red Robin's in Mount Juliet, not far from Nashville. And not even an hour later, it was reported Miranda Lambert was there. I was like, I didn't get to see her eat a burger and was able to talk to her
Well,
while we're
that'd
sharing
been
some
great.
French fries. Like, come on. But no, it was
Your
just,
love
it
of
was
Mark
really fun.
Wahlberg could have come up with Miranda
know.
Lambert.
Yeah,
You could have had that conversation. Did you just randomly move to Tennessee? I can't remember. So, did John was going there and you went with him, or you were there before that, weren't you?
both.
Yeah, you were there before that. You had
Yes.
the license plates.
Yeah. So
How did you go there?
my mom, she had actually moved there to go
Okay.
live there. She just wanted a change of scenery and everything as well. So I moved there, and I was like, I miss my friends. So I moved back to South Dakota. I'm like, I miss my family. So I moved back there, and then I moved back, meet John, move back to Tennessee. Then I come back to South Dakota. Here I am.
There you are.
So a little indecisive, but here we
John is here.
are. John is
too.
here.
Okay.
Yes.
And then you'll get married.
Yeah.
And then that'll be probably, well, maybe you'll move. We'll have to see. We'll see what the future holds, I guess. We don't really know.
It's crazy. We'll be here for a bit. We just bought a house, so
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's cool.
we'll be here for a while.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I have. That's the only questions I have. This has been another episode of Is This Thing On? We were here with Lani. Lani, thank you for taking the time. Awkward handshake through a microphone. That's how we do things here. We just like to do awkward handshakes through microphones.
Love that.
That's kind of our thing. Everyone knows that. That's what we're known
Why don't
for.
we just cheers too while we're
Oh,
at it?
what?
I
You don't have nothing in there.
Nothing in
Is this bad luck, though?
No.
If you cheers with nothing in there, that's on you. If it's bad luck. Cheers. Ooh, faked it. So thank you for stopping by. Ooh, stopping by like we're at home, like we're at house. Thanks for being here. This has been another episode. Thank you for watching.